Greetings YouTube, welcome to my channel. For those of you who don't know who I am, my name is Aaron Spink. I am a drummer, clinician, performer, and educator from Toronto, Ontario, Canada. And for those of you who are subscribed and do know who I am, you might be wondering, where have I been this whole time? Well, the quick answer is I've been traveling quite a bit. I've been all over the place performing, Canada, United States, a little bit overseas. But you know what? Better time than the present to get back into doing some lesson videos. So thought I'd bring you a quick one today, very small one, but a good one nonetheless. So I thought to myself, what better way to get started back into doing lesson material on YouTube than to start out real simple with a nice pad warm up, sticking exercise, however you want to call it. But this one I specifically call a halftime double time exercise. Here's how it works. We're going to start out with a basic rhythm. I've got 8 different rhythms here in total that I'm going to do in this video. We've got reggaeton or dancehall or bayong, whatever you want to call that rhythm, which is actually this one here. We've got son clave, rumba clave. We've got 2 different variations of bossa nova rhythms, 2 different variations of cascara, and we've also got a bonus pattern that some of you may not be familiar with called the wood stroke. I'll explain more about that pattern later. But essentially the idea with these is that we're going to take that basic rhythm, play it on 8th notes, 16th notes, however you want to base it. This one right now I'm just doing on 8th notes. So we've got 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and that's the rhythm that we're outlining there. And we're going to play that sticking right, left, left, right, left, left, right, left. These stickings that we're going to utilize here are all going to be based on the Gary Chaffee sticking patterns, which if you've never checked out any of his books, including that book with that same namesake, I would highly recommend going and doing so. Now from here, what we're going to do, this is the halftime portion. The double time portion is that we're going to double each of the notes in that pattern to give it the illusion of double time. However, the accents are going to be staying in the exact same spots. And from there, that's now going to affect how we're going to utilize the sticking patterns here. So based on the Gary Chaffee sticking methods, we've now got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, group of 6. This is also a group of 6 and a group of 4. So our new sticking would have to be right, left, right, right, left, left. Again, right, left, right, right, left, left, and then right, left, right, right at the end. Thusly then, if I come back around and do it again, it's going to have to flip to the opposite side. Left, right, left, left, right, right, left, right, left, left, right, right, left, right, left, left, and back around again. I really like this sort of formation of the exercise that I've put together for this lesson because it works on 2 different aspects. One, it's helping us get comfortable with different phrasings of the Gary Chaffee stickings. So we've got our groups of 3s, groups of 4s, groups of 6s, groups of 8s. We're going through all these different variations of those sticking patterns and utilizing them in time. However, we're doing it in a musical context by playing these different ostinato rhythms that we find in different styles. So with that, check out these 8 exercises. Oh yeah, and remember how I told you I was on the road quite a bit? These were done in my hotel room in Vancouver while I was doing drum exams for Yamaha. Enjoy. So those are the 8 exercises, and if you figured out how each of those exercises is going in terms of the stickings, both halftime and double time, you're good to go. But for those of you who are unsure of what's happening, let's break them down a little bit. So the cool thing about the halftime patterns is that all of them are all going to have groups of 2, 3, or 4 in them in different combinations, and that's it. So groups of 2 would simply just be right, left, accenting the right, unaccenting the left, or non-accented left, or vice versa, accented left, non-accented right. So that would be accenting with the right, and the other side, unaccented in the right, accenting in the left. When we double that pattern up, it's going to create a group of 4, and in the Chaffee model of the groups of 4, it's going to basically be paradiddle sticking or single paradiddle sticking, right, left, left, left. So one of the first exercises that you can do is simply play your group of 2, repeat for a number of times, and then move into the paradiddle double time. So that's starting in the right for the halftime accent. Here's in the left. For groups of 3, it's simply just right accent and 2 unaccented lefts. Or 1 single accented left and 2 unaccented rights. The double sticking version of that is right, left, left, or left, right. Both of these variations are going to be non-rotational, or in other words, they're not going to flip the lead sticking from one hand to the other. They will always stay on the same hand that you started with. And that sticking of the right, left, 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 right, vice versa, that is the paradiddle diddle sticking. So that'll look something like this. So accenting the group of 3 in the right, double that up, back to the group of 3, and on the left side we've got same idea but accents in the left. And last but not least, we've got our groups of 4, which funny enough are the double time variations of the groups of 2. So it's just paradiddle or single paradiddle sticking, right, left, left. So this one is an alternating accent, starts in one hand, alternates to the other side. The variation that we're going to do for the double time is right, left, left, left. Best way to think about this pattern is, so every time when we say paradiddle, we're doing diddles as doubles. So paradiddle, 4 notes. It's an onomatopoeia, so that means that the name that you're giving the pattern is the sound. So the diddle are your doubles, so paradiddle. So if we have a paradiddle diddle, it's paradiddle diddle. So that means that this group of 8, you can call it a paradiddle diddle diddle, paradiddle diddle diddle. So that's the term that I'll use for this. So groups of 4 turning into groups of 8. So paradiddles turning into paradiddle diddle diddles. So I'll do that one a little bit slower, especially for those groups of 8, the paradiddle diddle diddles. Go something like this, a little slower. So right, left, left, right, left, right, left, left, and right, left, left. Paradiddle diddle diddle. looks something like that. So looking at how these break down into the different exercises that we used, or ostinato musical halftime, double time patterns, you're just assigning different combinations of those halftime groupings and then just doubling each of those to create the double time stickings. So the very first one that I did, the dance hall, reggaeton, bayon, however you want to call that pattern, or which variation you want to call it, but the 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2, it's just that, our group of 3 twice and then a group of 2. So that means we're doubling up to 6 6 and 4. So in this case though, when it doubles up to the group of 6, right left right right left left, it's going to stay on that side until we finish the group of 4, the paradiddle, which will then move over to the left hand. So right left right right left left right left right right left left right left right right, over to the left, left right left left right right left right left left right right left right left left. So this is the genesis of how these patterns are going to work with the halftime and double time portions, while you're still maintaining the accent, throughout the halftime that just turns into double time. One other note of mention that I should talk about when it comes to the patterns are the Keskara patterns. So I did 2 variations of Keskara, which they're pretty much the same thing. For anybody who's not familiar with that pattern, it's from Cuba. And Keskara, I believe, literally in Spanish means shell. So normally the Keskara pattern is played on a wood-sounding sort of surface or some sort of shell-like object. You'll hear it on drum set played mostly on either maybe your floor tom, on the side of the floor tom, or on a rim, or you'll hear it in hi-hat if we're kind of playing the clave as a cross-stick pattern underneath. But that Keskara pattern normally just sounds like that by itself. And the variations that I put in, the one variation is simply the Keskara, the other variation has the left hand ghosted in between the notes that I'm playing on the right hand. And the idea behind that is it's very similar to what you might see played as a palito pattern, or a set of palitos, which is sort of like woodblock type objects. And it just kind of gives some more variation to that method of what we're doing in terms of a set of halftime rhythms going into double time. But essentially you could just play the Keskara rhythm, and then you could go into the double time portion of that sticking from there. Either one of those will work. If you're comfortable with one over the other, it really doesn't matter, as long as you're able to get the genesis of the halftime pattern going into the double time. And finally, the last pattern that I have in this is a pattern that I don't know if very many people are familiar with, if any. It's a very unique pattern that I actually learned from my first drum teacher when I was at Humber College back in 2003, who he would go on to eventually become the head of the program for about 18 years before he retired not too long ago. And I'm talking about Mark Kelso, who is very prominent, prolific, very well-known Canadian drummer, especially in the Toronto area. And I'm glad to say that he taught me right out of the gate when I first started studying at Humber College. And on top of that too, he is a Yamaha artist as well as me being a Yamaha artist. So that's something that I can boast that I share with Mark. But Mark taught me that rhythm way back in one of our lessons in my first year. And I remember going through that pattern, and it wasn't until I bought a copy of his album, Lost Kingdoms, which I believe is from 2002, that I actually heard this rhythm being played in one of his songs called Enuma Elish. And that song is quite unique. It is only vocal and percussion, many layers of percussion and vocal over top of drum kit. Mark takes a solo at one point throughout the middle of the song. And Mark actually has a DVD that he came out with, I believe 6 or 7 years ago, called Musician First, Drummer Second. And there is a live performance version of this song on there. So I do encourage any of you to go check it out. I have to admit, I don't remember the exact history of the rhythm. I know that Mark was taught it by a prolific jazz legend, but I'll leave it at that. I won't name any names in case I get it wrong. But I do find that rhythm rather unique, especially with the different groups of 3s and 4s kind of moving back and forth. And the pattern at the end, even though I'd only gone through the sets of 2, 3, 4, and 4, 6, and 8 for the halftime and double time stickings, that last section of the pattern where it's extending the doubles, you just keep extending the doubles throughout. So anyway, that's a little bit of a history on that pattern. Sorry I couldn't give you more information, but I thought I would put it in here because I've found it to be a rather unique warm-up exercise to play myself, and I thought you might think the exact same thing. So if you've stuck around long enough to hear this ending of the video, thank you very much for watching. Give me a like if you can. If you're very interested in seeing more of these videos, especially now that I feel like I'm getting back into the fold of doing more lessons and keeping up with more content, please hit subscribe and maybe even hit the bell notification just in case it is a little bit longer between videos for me, so that way you'll keep in the loop. And if you're interested in getting a copy of a PDF that I've made of the exercises today for purchase, I'll leave my email in the link in the description below. So email me, let me know, and hope to see you next time.